Hey guys, what's going on? It's Gary from Bone Racing. Today we're going to go through my recent track day over at Road Atlanta. The first time I've ever had the chance to get out on track there. Much anticipated, super excited about it. I was able to get out on the track with Track Night in America through SCCA, out there on the same weekend as Drift Atlanta. Also Global Time Attack Racing was going on during the weekend as well. But either way, I wanted to share my experience, share some footage from on track during my second session during the day with some of my fastest laps. Share just a little bit of my driving experience there. Before we get started, I wanted to go through just a little bit, kind of update with where the car is and what changes we've had since the last track day. The last track day, believe it or not, was actually at CMP in October. So since October, there's been quite a bit of upgrades and things changed on the setup of the car. And we'll get into how the car actually handled out on track here shortly. But to start things off, first and foremost, tires, we did go ahead and still run the Michelin Pilot Super Sports. We did have newer rubber on here. Previously, we were running a staggered setup with 285 fronts and 325 rears. Whereas in this time we had actually a little smaller overall width. We were running 305 rears with 275 fronts. But again, new tires that had a lot more life left in them. A couple other upgrades as well too. We recently had put the Brembo 6-piston front brakes on the car, as this car is not a performance pack, so that was something that needed to be upgraded for track duty. After that first track day, I realized that the bias was off a little bit for the rear brakes, and actually using too much of the rear brake after doing the upgrade, so I had to upgrade the master cylinder. Went ahead and did the brake booster as well too, so that was an upgrade there. We've also installed the Steeda 2-piece rotors, as you can see, both front and back. Also went with some more aggressive pads in the back since the last time as well. Also added the performance pack strut tower brace. We also got the Steeda adjustable front and rear sway bars to help kind of correct the car, change any understeer oversteer, and help out with that as well. Obviously, just recently we just upgraded the rear differential to the Performance Pack 373 rear diff. That includes that Torsen differential. While we're at it, we went ahead and added in some Steeda IRS bushing supports, as well as subframe connecting, alignment tools, different things like that. We set the shocks to about neutral with the car, just to see how it felt going out there. And with these upgrades, with the changes over the last couple months going out on track, I have never in my life felt the car this planted, this on rails on the track. It was an amazing experience. A lot left on the table still. I definitely could have pushed it a little harder, but definitely a lot more comfort than we previously had. I think previously, just using the accelerometer built into the car, we're averaging about 1.08 or so through lateral G's through left and right turns. This last track day we actually got up to I think around 1.32 lateral G's, so huge improvement. Again, that's still on street tires, Michelin Pilot Super Sports, which are great tires for the track, but still a 300 tread wear, pretty hard tire. So really impressed with how the car handled out there. Had such a blast. The only real damage we took from the trip was all just my fault. Using a U-Haul trailer was my first mistake, but working on getting my own trailer so I can make that a little easier. But getting it on there, the splitter, as you can see, got caught up underneath it as it was going on. And the bummer with that too is I left it on the car, and by doing that I ended up tearing up the passenger or the driver's side fender well lining in there as well too. So I'm gonna have to get that replaced. But fortunately, the lip is really a really cheap replica of the PP2 splitter there. It's only about $130. So we have a new one of those on the way, as well as the splash liner for that to get that corrected. But other than that, no issues with the car. Held up great, and had an amazing time out there. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Any questions, feedback you guys have, leave it in the comments here. But again, this is just going to be a a video of my second session out there, starting after the first warm-up lap. Just going in there, I think I had a total of about 7 or 8 laps that are going to be on the video there. I need to get some OBD2 connection to be able to add in so a little more of the throttle input, braking, things like that. A little more accurate accelerometer so we can get some better data in there going forward. But in the meantime, I did add in some race render that has an overlay there to kind of share a little bit of some of the insight of going through the tracks, the different lap times and different things like that. Fastest lap time I had of the day was actually the last lap you'll see there. Really excited with that. My goal going into the weekend was to break 1 minute and 50 seconds. As you guys can see, I surpassed that quite a bit. So again, had an amazing time out there. Definitely going to be going back out at Road Atlanta here, hopefully in the next couple months. And hopefully we'll do it with with either SCCA or NASA and get a little more seat time and a longer weekend in with it as well too. But either way, very excited about it. The car feels amazing. Really excited about it. And so we'll go ahead and move into the footage. And thanks, guys.